Hey everyone, tapdawg here with Little Alchemist Helper, and today I wanted to talk about two somewhat recent updates. One came out a week or two ago, and the other one came out today, and kind of talked about what these changes mean for the game and how to best use them. So I'm gonna pop up my main account here, tapdawg, and there's an update available for most people now on the App Store as of today. If you don't see it, you should be able to see it within the next week. But basically, the way you'll be able to know you're on the update is instead of just showing 30 on the top left corner for your energy, it'll actually show a number out of 30 that you have. And what the update that came out today does is it lets you now have your energy run over above the 30 mark when you level up. So one of the most potentially frustrating things when you're playing this game is not realizing that you're close to a level up and then leveling up and losing out on your energy. But with today's update, that does not happen anymore. So I'm just going to battle here. I don't think I'm close to a level up. I'm working on Ariel right now trying to get her boss card, so I figured I would play a couple rounds here like this, and then I'll show you how this change works, but hopefully I'll actually be able to do what I'm trying to do, but we'll see. Sometimes I lose to Ariel too because she's got the what do you call that? The reflect cards. So sometimes I just don't expect it, and she'll get me a counterattack, I should say. Wouldn't it be cool if I got her card? I don't think I would, but all right. Let me see how close I am to a level up. Okay, so I'm not going to level up off of this, which is fine because I'm going to show you there's two different updates that they actually did here. One of them was keeping your energy on a level up, but the other one was that when you refill your energy, you get whatever existing energy is there plus the refill amount of 30. So it's kind of a nice little change here, and I'll show you guys how this works. And so now I have defeated Ariel on set. And at this point, I don't have enough energy to play her again, right? I only have 7 energy. I need 9. So I'm going to click on this button here, and it will let me refill 30 energy for 10 gems. So I'm going to click that buy. And now, instead of having 30 energy, I'm up to 37 out of 30 energy. So I now have more energy than I need. However, if I click on this again, you'll see that I'm at full energy. So I'm not going to keep getting additional energy above this 30 number, because once you get to 30, you're at your maximum. But if you do refill or you level up, you could have a number that's above 30. I'm guessing theoretically your top number would be, what, 59 out of 30, right? Because if you had 29 energy and you use a refill, that would be the potential maximum you could have here. This is going to be beneficial for players who are trying to work on maybe their coin achievement. You need about 10 million coins, and this is a better way. You don't have to worry about losing out or running out of being efficient with your coins. So you can just keep playing Dr. Robo, Dr. Robo, Dr. Robo. When you get down to the very end, you only got 2 health left or whatnot, you can refill and you'll have 32 health, and you can keep playing that way. Or if you get level ups in the middle of that too, it's not going to be as big of a deal. So it's definitely a wonderful addition. I am going to play one more time with her just so I can start getting my energy refilled, since I'll be doing this for another minute or two anyway. So first change, it's a wonderful change. It's something that people had been requesting for a while and Monumental had been looking at, and I guess they finally were able to figure out a way to do it. So I'm very happy with this change. This is going to help so many people when they accidentally level up without realizing they were close to a level up. Okay, here's what I was talking about. I just killed myself by not paying attention. It happens. It happens often for me, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Okay, so that was the first change that happened. The second change that happened recently is most noticeable when you go to Arena. So if you go to the Arena, you'll now notice on the bottom of your screen there is an attack and a defense slot here, and they can be different decks. They can also be different abilities on those decks. So right now I have my deck I was just using for battling against Ariel, which is my deck 3 slot. Deck 4 is my defensive slot. So a lot of people might be wondering, what is the purpose of this? Why should I have a defensive deck? Well, it makes battling you in Arena much harder. If you've experienced this last week or so of Arena, you'll notice that it's a lot more challenging to win all your battles. And that's because people are now able to have a defensive deck up instead of just the normal deck they used to attack with. So how can you best optimize yourself to be a harder opponent for your other players in the game? Well, let me show you what I do. And this is just an idea that you can do as well. So again, my deck 3 is let me see. I don't think I can sort this. I guess I can just go like this. So my deck 3, my diamond cards, I've got 4 critical strikes here, 36/20s, and I have 2 counterattacks, 31/29 Mr. Pims. I might be swapping those 2 out just so I can have more damage, so they might become Cupids now that we have both the attack and the defensive decks. But occasionally it is useful to use a Mr. Pim, so I might keep them how they are. There's been a couple times where if I had used a Cupid or a Sniper, I would have lost, but if I had used Mr. Pim, I had won. So it is. I think it's important enough that I might end up keeping it this way, but there's a chance I swap it. So that's that, and then all the other cards are just combo cards in this deck. Now, comparatively, let me reset my filter here. If I go over to my deck 4 slot and look at my final forms here, instead of having 6, I have significantly more. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 1 extra card here, and you'll notice they're kind of all over the board. I've got 2 curse cards, 2 counter cards, 2 critical strikes, and a crushing blow. And the purpose of that is this is what I call the kitchen sink deck. But when you make a deck that looks like this, it makes it really challenging for your opponent to know what exactly you're going to be playing, which makes it harder for them to counter your deck because they might be thinking, oh, they're going to throw a critical strike at me, and instead they get the counter attack. Or they think, oh, he already used his counter attack, so I can play my critical strike, and then they get hit by a Vera. So it's just the kitchen sink approach is probably the strongest away deck that you could have, and then you can choose typically the 2 best options for your ability are going to be Master Healer, which gives you 10 extra health at the start, and obviously you'll keep healing the whole time, so you're able to last longer against the opponent. Or Lobotomizer, where you don't get that extra 10 health at the start, but you reduce your opponent's deck by basically 15 cards, so almost half of their whole deck will be gone by doing that, which oftentimes makes it harder for them to be able to make combos or even be able to use their final forms. Or they might end up having too many final forms and their hand gets filled with them. So both of those are good options. There are a handful of players who are actually using Master Elementalist, where it will defeat or take off 10 health from your opponent at the start. That's going to be really useful for those of you who are playing against opponents that are in the 30 to 40 health range, because you've already taken off a good third of their health, or 25% of their health before the game's even started. And then in addition, every turn you take off more of their health using the Elementalist ability. The downside with this is it's a whole lot easier for stronger opponents that have 55 plus health to be able to defeat you. So the best counter for this one is to have less of the critical strikes and have more of the curse cards or the reflect cards. So you're just doing additional damage to them and not taking as much damage. That's part of the reason also why I put an Anna in this deck rather than a Sniper, even though Sniper does more damage. Anna's more tanky, and so you're able to survive longer and just make your opponent's life just that much harder, and it makes it harder for them to defeat you. Now, there's obviously ways to get around this, and I'll kind of show you how to fight against away decks. So I'll play a couple here real quick. So my first one here, these guys are all Master Healer, I believe. So I'll play against X Boozer because he has a good job of doing the kitchen sink approach. So I'm going to keep this hand because I already have a critical strike card in it. That's always something that's nice to have from the start. So ideally, when you're fighting against these guys, it's not about necessarily dealing as much damage as you can to them. It's about surviving against their first final form. So with that being said, I'm going to play this card because it's a 70 total stat. It's probably the best option I have. I could look over here and play a more defensive option, or this one here, but I think I'm okay with this weakness. I'm going to have 34 attack from that. So I'm going to only take 1 damage, but I get to do 7 damage to him, minus the 3 he healed, so it was really a net of 4 damage to him, 1 damage to me. I'll do something similar here, but this time I'll have 35 as my defense, so I don't take any damage. I do 7 to him, but it's actually only 2. So in total now, I have done 6 damage to him. He has done 1 damage to me. And if I were to play Cupid or Sniper, and he played Cupid or Sniper, we'd both take 52 damage. I'd be down to 2 health, he'd be down to 7. I don't want to do that. So on this turn, I'm going to play it safe. I'll play Superhero and Science. They make Lieutenant USA, which is a nice little defensive combo for me. And we'll see what he plays. Okay, he played Vera, so that was a good option on my part because now I've not really hurt myself by using my final form on that turn, and I'm able to play a little bit longer here. So I could, on this turn now, use my Sniper or my Cupid, but I like to have their health down a little bit further. So for now, I'm going to play Wings and Sci-Fi, get another 71 damager there, or 71 total combo. So now, that turn, I did 7, but he healed for 4, so I really only took off 3 of his damage. Because he's got 4 orbs here, and I know he played a Vera previously, there's a very good chance that he's going to play another Curse or potentially a counterattack here. So I'm going to play it safe by just playing this and not using my final form. And he didn't, so that's good. But since I still have a lot of health here, I'm just going to keep playing it out. I'll do this combo. Again, another curse card just popped up for us. So now this is when I'll use my final form because I've already got 3 in my hand. I want to make sure I'm able to make strong combos, and right now I'm in a spot where I could get myself blocked out. So since I have the ability, I will play this right now. I will be taking a little bit of damage there, as you can see, but he'll also be losing most of his health. So he's down to 17, I'm at 34. And I will play this combo, hoping he does a curse. He did not, but that's fine. Now he is down to 16 health, and he will probably play an attack-focused card here. So I have 2 options. I can play this, which I think I'm going to do, just in case he uses a final form, a critical strike. I think this is my best option. He did not, so I'm okay, but now I've got a full combo meter. So I'm going to play this and hope for the best. And that is a win. So games take a lot longer this way. You have to strategize and not just do a 1-2 critical strike, which I think makes for a more dynamic game, a more interesting game. I'll play one more battle here just to kind of show you my thought process. Okay, we'll go to the other extreme. So Suya here is, or Soya, I don't know. They are using the Master Elementalist strategy, and you'll see you have to play this just a little bit differently. So I need to redraw because I do not have a final form, critical strike in my hand here. Okay, I can work with Mr. Pym. It's not ideal, but it's better. Again, the same thing here. Instead of going for this, which is my 71 a total attack, I'm actually going to go for this option here, which will give me just a little bit more damage, because I want to get his health down as quickly as possible, because he's going to use a critical strike on his next turn here. Now, that's why I was saying for these types of accounts, it's better if you have a curse card in your deck, because your opponent might be thinking that they're just going to use massive attack. But if you have a curse card, you can stall them out and potentially kill them if you're using the Master Elementalist strategy. So that one went a lot faster because of my health, but someone that has a lot less health than me, that could have actually been a challenge. All right, play one more game here. Let's go against Crucifix. He has a very similar deck to Suya, but he does not have Master Elementalist 3 yet, but he does use the curse cards. So I have to play him just a little bit differently because of that. So I won't be as aggressive with my combos against him because I don't want to take too much damage. So I only took 1 damage plus the 3 he dealt from the fire. Then I think I'll play this one. It's a little bit dangerous on my end because Night and Madness do not combo together, but it worked out in my favor. Okay, so now I don't know if he will play a critical strike or a curse card here, So I have to assume that he's going to play a curse card and not use Sniper. So I will pick up Knight and just do a defensively focused combo here. And he did use a critical strike, which is fine because I was able to tank it. And now I can use my Sniper and beat him. So again, it's not just about using your final form cards when you have your meter fill. It's about strategizing and playing against the AI and knowing what to do and when to do it. So, anywho, that's what helps you continue to do well and level up. But don't get frustrated. It is going to be harder in Arena. It's not just a little cakewalk. But yeah, anywho, what are your guys' thoughts on these changes? I love the energy change. I think that's going to be very useful. You'll be able to use refills now and not be afraid of wasting. And you'll also be able to wake up in the morning, use your first turn, and get a refill and not be frustrated. So I'm happy with this change. I also like this attack defense change. It does make Arena harder, for sure. And I liked not having to think when I played Arena, just 3 turns and be done. But I think it's probably better for the health of the game because that means someone who's able to strategize or play optimally and know how to have a deck that can be used in multiple circumstances is going to do better and rank better than someone who just is wailing and not understanding the niche parts of this game. So, anywho, let me know your guys' thoughts. I love to hear from you. And with that, I do hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care.